I never thought the day would come when my own daughter would abandon me. But life has a cruel way of showing you who truly stands beside you and who only pretends to love you. My name is Edward Miller. I am 71 years old. For most of my life, I believed I was a good father. I worked 2 jobs to provide for my family. I skipped meals so my children could eat. I walked in the rain so they could take the bus. And out of all my sacrifices, my greatest joy was my daughter, Emily. From the moment she was born, I adored her. She was the apple of my eye, my little princess. When she took her first steps, I was there. When she cried on her first day of school, I was the one who held her hand until she smiled again. I raised her with love, with patience, with dreams bigger than my own. And for years, I believed that love would one day come back to me. But I was wrong. When my wife passed away, the house grew quiet. Emily was in her late 20s then, already, married to a man named Robert. They promised to visit often. They promised to take care of me. They promised I would never feel alone. But promises are easy to break. The visits became less frequent. Phone calls turned into short text messages, and eventually, even those disappeared. I tried not to complain. I told myself, she has her own life now, her own family. It's natural. But deep down, I longed for her voice, her presence, her smile. One winter evening, I fell in the kitchen. My hip shattered, pain seared through my body. I lay on the floor for hours, unable to move. When Emily finally arrived at the hospital, I reached for her hand with tears in my eyes. "Emily, thank God you're here," I whispered, but instead of warmth, her eyes were cold. "Dad," she said sharply, "you can't keep living like this. Robert and we've decided it's best for you to move into a nursing home." Her words hit me harder than the fall. A nursing home? "Emily, this is my home, our home. Your mother's memories live here. Everything we built as a family is here." But Emily's face showed no mercy. "Dad, you'll be safer there. Besides," she hesitated, then added, "Robert and we need the house. We're planning to expand our family. You'll understand." Understand? My daughter wanted me out of my own home. Not for my safety, but for her convenience. Begged. I pleaded. But my words meant nothing. Within weeks, I was moved into a facility filled with strangers. The room smelled of disinfectant. The hallways echoed with coughing and cries. My bed was stiff, the food bland. And worst of all, Emily stopped visiting. Days turned into weeks, weeks into months. Each morning I sat by the window staring at the road, hoping to see her car. Each night I whispered her name before falling asleep, but she never came. Other residents had children who visited them, brought flowers, shared meals. But me? I was forgotten. My heart broke a little more every day. Until one evening, when a kind nurse named Linda sat beside me. She had noticed my silence, my sadness. "Mr. Miller," she said softly, "you are not alone. You still have life left in you. Don't let their abandonment define your last years." Her words sparked something in me. For too long I had allowed myself to wither away. But maybe, just maybe, my story wasn't over yet. I began writing. Every day I poured my memories, my struggles, my sacrifices onto paper. I wrote about raising Emily, about the love I gave, about the betrayal I endured. Page after page, my pain became words. Linda encouraged me to publish it. At first, I laughed. Who would want to read the story of an old, forgotten man? But she insisted. With her help, We found a small publishing house willing to take the manuscript. Later, my book was released, A Father's Silent Sacrifice. To my shock, it resonated with people everywhere. Letters poured in from strangers, children who regretted abandoning their parents, parents who felt seen for the first time, young readers who promised never to forget their families. The book became a bestseller. Invitations to speak at universities and conferences followed. I shared my story, not with bitterness, but with hope, reminding the world that parents are treasures, not burdens. And slowly, I transformed. From a forgotten old man in a nursing home, I became a voice for millions. My name appeared in newspapers, my interviews broadcast on television. Even the nursing home staff looked at me differently, not as a patient, but as an inspiration. And then, Emily returned. It was a bright afternoon when I saw her standing at the doorway of my room. She looked older, tired, her eyes swollen from crying. "Dad," she whispered, "I'm so sorry." I remained silent, waiting. She continued, "Robert left me. The house. It's gone. I've lost everything. And now, I realize what I did to you. I abandoned you when you needed me the most. Can you ever forgive me?" Her tears fell like rain. She clutched my hands desperately, the same hands that once held hers when she was a child. For a moment, anger surged inside me. I remembered the nights I waited for her, the birthdays she forgot, the pain of being left alone. But then I thought of Linda's words, of the thousands of readers who had written to me, of the message I carried: forgiveness, compassion, healing. I looked into Emily's eyes and spoke softly. "Emily, you broke my heart. You left me when I needed you the most. But I will not carry hatred in my final years. I forgive you, not for your sake, but for mine. Because love, no matter how betrayed, is stronger than bitterness." She wept in my arms, trembling like the little girl she once was. And in that moment, I realized something powerful. I had lost my home, my comfort, my family's loyalty. But in return, I had gained something greater: wisdom, peace, and the love of strangers who became family. Life had come full circle. Karma had spoken. And though Emily would live with regret, I would live with dignity. Because sometimes the ones abandoned become the strongest of all.